Hey there, Trivia Treasures fans! According to Eddie Griffin, he is coming to us with the inside scoop on the madness surrounding Diddy's recent brush with the law. Buckle up, because this one's a wild ride through the twisted world of media distractions and hidden agendas. Now, let me set the scene for you. Picture this. Diddy's living his best life, chillin' in Miami, when suddenly the feds show up like the Gestapo, helicopters and all. They're raiding his properties, handcuffing his sons, and making a whole spectacle of it. I mean, what did they think they were going to find? A stash of bootylicious backup dancers hidden in the basement? But wait, it gets even crazier. As the chaos unfolds, Diddy somehow gets wind of the impending raid and makes a daring escape on his private jet. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't help but wonder, who's the inside man that tipped him off? Because let's be real, the chances of Diddy just happening to be on a plane the day before the raid are slimmer than a supermodel's waistline. But this is where things take a turn for the absurd, my friends. Rumor has it that this whole Diddy fiasco is nothing more than a smokescreen, a distraction from something far more sinister brewing behind the scenes. What could be so heinous that it requires a full-blown media circus to divert our attention? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some say that it's all a cover-up for the shady dealings of Clive Davis and the head honcho at Universal Music Group. Apparently, these bigwigs have been up to no good, and Diddy had the receipts that could bring their whole empire crumbling down. So, what do? They call in the big guns to raid Diddy's crib and confiscate those incriminating tapes. But hold on, folks, because that's not even the juiciest part. There are whispers that this whole fiasco is a smokescreen to distract us from the real scandal, the one involving Jeffrey Epstein and his sordid little island of unspeakable horrors. Apparently, the powers that be are desperately trying to shift the narrative away from the sick and twisted activities of the rich and powerful, and Diddy just happened to be the perfect fall guy. Now, I'm not saying this is the gospel truth, but it certainly makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why was there such a massive show of force for a supposedly routine raid? And why hasn't there been any follow-up on the Epstein case? Seems like someone doesn't want us poking around in those dark corners. But hey, let's not get too bogged down in the conspiracy theories, shall we? At the end of the day, this whole debacle is just another example of the absurdities that plague our society. It's a reminder that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and the only way to make sense of it all is to laugh. And speaking of laughing, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer ridiculousness of the whole situation. I mean, can you imagine the scene? Diddy, pacing around the airport like a caged animal, his body language screaming, "I just snorted a mountain of coke and now the feds are after me." It's like something straight out of a comedy sketch, my friends. But wait, there's more. Apparently, the news crews were already tipped off and had their cameras rolling, ready to capture the whole spectacle from every angle. Talk about a choreographed performance. It's almost like someone wanted to make sure this whole thing was as sensationalized as possible. And let's not forget the staging of the handcuffed sons being paraded in front of the cameras. It's like the feds were saying, "Look, we got the big fish's offspring. That'll teach him to mess with us." It's all just so over the top and ridiculous that you can't help but laugh at the sheer absurdity of it all. But here's the real kicker, my friends. It's from the real folding. Did anyone stop to ask what else was happening in the world that day? What major legislation was being passed under the radar? What scandals were being buried beneath the avalanche of Diddy coverage? That's the real power of these media circuses, my friends. They distract us, they dazzle us with their spectacle, and they make us forget about the real issues that matter. It's like they're waving a shiny object in front of our faces, and we're all too mesmerized to notice the sleight of hand happening behind the scenes. So, what's the call to action here, you ask? Simple. Stay woke, my friends. Don't let these media distractions blind you to the bigger picture. Question everything, dig deeper, and never take anything at face value. And if you ever find yourself caught up in the midst of a circus like this, just sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. Because sometimes the only way to stay sane in this crazy world is to embrace the absurdity with a big, hearty laugh. So, there you have it. Trivia Treasures fans, a wild ride through the madness surrounding Diddy's escapades. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this whole mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. And remember, my friends, stay sharp, stay curious, and never stop questioning the world around you. Because sometimes the only way to stay sane in this crazy world is to embrace the absurdity with a big, hearty laugh. Peace.